Hi all, and welcome to Night Rips. And sometimes I look at every product I open for fun, since this is my hobby and I do enjoy collecting. But sometimes you open a product because it's just so unique. You go, well, why not? So now that we're in the heat of postseason, decided to go ahead and do one of those. And this would be 1988 American baseball. See the side there? No, that is not Spencer Strider, since I don't think he was even born in 1988. Now, if you notice, this is a premiere edition. I will tell you, this is a very interesting. I can't believe I actually get my hands on the 88 and 89. They're actually bundled together. To kind of give you a hint of what this is, if you notice the price, this actually cost per pack 12 pence. And what does that mean? I'll show you on the back. This is actually Topps Ireland. This is what you know as the Topps UK mini set. So, first time they try to do it, I am going to go ahead and, there's 48 packs in here. I'm only going to pull 6. We'll do others later, just for fun, obviously. But I wanted to just do 6 packs because the interesting thing is these cards are quite unique. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away for another time. Get our 6 packs, but before we zoom in and start opening these packs, I'll definitely invite you to join the channel, hitting that subscribe button and the notify bell. Just punch it. Don't even look back. It doesn't cost you anything. So let me go ahead and zoom on in. And we will open up 6 packs of this American baseball. Make sure I get it down just small so we don't lose. So there will be gum in these packs, and it is a little bit different. These aren't wax packs. There's no cello. Of course, it's got all kinds of ingredients. There is no odds. There's nothing special we're going to pull out of these. It is an 88 card set. But again, I wanted to show you front and back, because the backs on these honestly was the things that whenever I first saw these cards, they were the things that kind of made me laugh. So let's go ahead and take the first set out. Now, one thing I will show you, and this is really nice and nasty, even the gum was different. They weren't the pink gum that you'd find in the American packs. These are a lot smaller pieces, and they are usually gray, but obviously the gray gum is gone now that you got nice little black spots growing in on it. But let's go ahead and take a look at who we got. Now, before I go through these cards, I'm going to put this back. This is obviously Ronald Acuna Jr. of this year, even though it's the 87 style. And if you notice, these cards are quite a bit, actually I'll put it right behind it, they're quite a bit smaller. These are a mini set. So they even cut down. Now, whenever they created this whole set, what they were really trying to capitalize on, this is, it is the beginning of the junk wax. This was done by Topps Ireland specifically for the UK to start getting them into baseball cards and start competing with the football cards, or in the US they say the soccer cards that the people are collecting at the time. So let's go ahead and take a look at Alvin Davis, and we'll go I mentioned the back being a little bit different. Now I can zoom in a little bit, not zoom in, but get closer. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of the stats. You do get, a signature, even though it's not the real, it's just a facsimile. Their base stats, of course, a nice little thing, and this was real common in the regular Topps cards. But what made me laugh quite a bit was this whole concept of talking baseball, where since baseball was an American sport, trying to come up with the vernacular that we use in baseball. So in this case, the AVG category indicates the batter's batting average. This is computed by dividing the batter's number of hits by his number of official at-bats. And it actually, let me see, it shows cards that kind of reference each other. So card number 3 is going to talk about at-bats, and number 4 is going to talk about hits. So they're going to define everything that we do. There's the Braves, Deion James. And what did they talk about on this one? Oh, a double play. And if you're interested, I'm not going to read every one of them, but I did want to show because it is funny. Some of them are actually funnier than others. There's Brooks Jacoby with the Cleveland Indians. Almost said Guardians. Congratulations for making it into the next level of the playoffs. Oh, there's a forfeited game. Oh, I didn't even know that. A violation of rules means an umpire can call it violation or call the game, and it's scored as 9-0, which I guess it matters whenever you hit, where you stand in the division. There's Del Murphy, and of course Del Murphy's special talk in baseball is what a pitch is. Pitch is whenever a pitcher throws the ball. Go figure. And it can be at varying speeds and in varying types in order to confuse the batter. Again, these are hilarious how they put this. There's a rocket, Roger Clemens. And for him, IP, which indicates innings pitched. Funny. All right. I'm not going to look at the gum anymore. We're only going to pull the cards out. I'm only going to talk through since it doesn't take long. I'm really only, of course, this one, the gum stuck to the card. So didn't want you have to see this. Of course, it's nasty too. And I am not going to chew it. There's no way. I wanted to, like I said, take time so we can actually look at the back and actually have a nice little laugh. Gary Carter. And he's got the slugging percentage, SLG. And a lot of these is because they're trying to explain what actually is on these stat lines. So slugging is comprised by dividing the batting number of total bases by the number of official at-bats. And anyone that knows baseball should know those. And if you don't, just pause the video. You can figure it out on your own there. Oh, here's an error. Of course, error is always one of those strange ones. What they rule an error or not. There's Jack Morris with the Tigers. Jack Morris always looked old. And with him, it's the SHO, which is the number of shutouts. And that's when a pitcher pitches and they don't score any runs in a complete game. Donnie Baseball, who is no longer the Marlins head coach. Also a Yankee who has no rings. He's just in that wrong time. And then there was for baseball, they talk about what a runner is. And that's funny because you can have as many as 3 runners on base at the same time. And then finally, Nolan Ryan. And it looks like the gum actually didn't leave. I mean, I can feel a little bit of the residue, but it didn't actually mess up the card very much. And of course, with Nolan Ryan, what would they talk about? Strikeouts. And we are going to go slow just so that you can see what these talking baseball is about. The cards themselves are not they're not really that special, to be honest. Oh. Piece of nasty gum broke in half. Get that out of the way. Because if you actually look at them, I mean, there's Brent Saberhagen. I mean, they're not really great, and actually didn't age very well. They're actually kind of yellowish. But the real neat thing, again, fully colored cards, along with this, talking baseball. So they are actually kind of interesting. And again, I'm not going to open these very often. It will probably take me a couple of years to actually open up this entire box, but we're going to do that for the laughs every once in a while. This one with Saberhagen would be the ERA, which basically multiplying the earned runs by 27 and dividing by the outs a pitcher has earned. Makes sense that a pitcher would have first strikeouts and then ERA. Here's Jose Canseco. Does this one talk about steroids? I don't know. No, it talks about RBIs. Mike Scott with the Astros. Oh, this one's a funny one. What's a strike? And I did see, because I have done some research on these cards a little bit. This one made me laugh because if you actually look at what it talks about, strike's a legal pitch called when umpire due to one of 7 factors. But they don't talk about what all 7 factors are. It says one factor occurs when the pitch is swung at by the batter and is missed completely. Yeah, that's a strike. Just interesting. I have to go back and find out what I guess a foul's a factor. Has to be, between the letters and knees over the plate. I don't know. I have to come up and figure out what the 7 factors are. If anybody knows, drop in the comment section below. There's the young Barry Bonds. What did they talk about home runs? No, they just talk about hits. Because, Barry Bonds was a 5-tool player. He actually did get quite a number of hits. I mean, you look right here, in 1987, he had 144. And then we end it with Jeffrey Leonard with the Giants talking about what a triple play is. Very, very rare thing. 4th pack. Let's see if we can get no gum stuck to this one. Are we lucky on this one? Oh, no. But again, there's like not very much sugar in this. Is why I tell you, it's not powdery like the what's in the American gum, but it leaves just a little bit of residue. It doesn't really damage the card, and there's no oil. There's Ricky Henderson there with the Yankees. Should be stolen bases. No, it's actually safe. Okay. For George Brett. Oh, 3B talks about triples. Makes sense since George Brett was a 3rd baseman. Of course, I would say this would actually confuse a lot of people because you see 3B here and you see 3B here. It doesn't mean he was a tripler. It means he was a 3rd baseman. So, I don't know. That one could be a bit confusing. There's Joe Carter. What's Joe talking? Total bases. I didn't know Hank Aaron was one of his kid favorites. There's Fernando Valenzuela, still when he was with the Dodgers. He started in the early 80s. I think 81 was his rookie year. And, of course, there's another one. Oh, actually, I think we already saw that one. Strike. And then Mark Langston. And even, it's funny, even the Topps Ireland, still a bad cut. And that would be complete games. 2 packs to go. It's weird to actually get a repeat since there's 88 cards. Of course, of those 88 cards, one of those would be the checklist card. Get that gum unstuck while we're at it. And it's not going to work. God, every piece of these gums looks bad. There's Andy Van Slyke. With him, it's the hits baseman. Or batsman, sorry. So when the batter is hit on his person or uniform by a pitch. Awarded first base by the umpire, and a dead ball is called. And that really depends on where it hits. If it hits in the hand, actually it's considered a foul ball. Mark McGwire. A retouch. A retouch is the act of a runner in returning to base as legally required. In the case of a caught fly ball, runner can't advance until the catch is made. Did not even know that was called a retouch, but okay. There's Kirk Gibson. That would be pre-Dodgers. He did come back, but this is whenever I remembered him. Oh, it talks about who a coach is. Team member in uniform appointed by the manager to perform duties such as instructing proper techniques and relaying game strategy. There's Mike Witt. There's strike. They must have actually put the same thing on multiple players, because there's that mention of the strike again. Oh no, it's actually a different one. This is another one of the 7 factors. And now I gotta go back and look. So I was like, okay, what's the 7 factors? Well, this one's when a catcher cleanly catches a foul tip regardless of his strikes. Interesting. So they must put all 7 factors in somewhere. We just have to go and find them all. And there's Doc Gooden. Is he going to be a strike? No, he's his runs. Okay. And our last pack. Won't really be a recap on this one. This was, again, more for fun. Product I don't know a lot of people really got to see, and actually the gum didn't stick. So I just wanted to share. Like I said, when I first saw these and I got my hands on, I got a box of 88 and a box of 89 as they were kind of wrapped together. Definitely wanted to share it with you in case you've never seen this before. Willie Randolph. Oh, fair territory. There's between the foul lines, basically. Tony Gwynn. Mr. Padre. And he talks about a bunt, which was interesting. This year, speaking of bunts, the Braves almost was the first team in MLB history to actually go into postseason without a successful bunt. But we did pull out a successful sacrifice bunt. And we did it right at the end of the season, so it was funny. They didn't mention it. If you bunt on a strike 3, you're actually out. Or if it's fouls, it's an out. Steve Bedrosian. Is this going to be another one of the 7 factors? No, this is the number of games. So Bedrosian pitched in 65 games in 1987. So again, another one that actually explains the stat line. We have George Bell. And it talks about his at-bats. Bases on balls, sacrifices, and hit batsmen are not official at-bats. Good to know. And we'll end it with Paul Molitor. And that would be, what's a wild pitch? Pitch it so high, so low, or so wide of the home plate that it can't be handled by the catcher with reasonable effort, allowing the runner to advance. So, that's it. First drip. Again, I'm only going to do this every once in a while. I hope you enjoyed. This one was a fun one. Again, you're not going to find anything crazy in here. I will probably try to see if I can get all 88. We'll do that over time. Again, we're not going to try to do all that in the next couple weeks. We're just going to pull them out every once in a while just when we want to have a fun rip. But I hope you enjoyed it. I do find this kind of stuff every once in a while because you never know when do you want to see some really nasty gum that's over 30 years old. So if you like this kind of thing, or you like any of the products I open, definitely come join along, smashing that subscribe button and hitting the notify bell. Also, really do the channel a favor by hitting that thumbs up. And if you have any comment at all, have you ever seen this stuff before? Let me know it. Drop it in the comment section below. Again, sometimes we do stuff like this for fun, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. So until next time, bye now.